don't know why, but I guess maybe they should just have Dopes Anonymous, like Heroin Anonymous, and Cocaine Anonymous I'd go to, because I know what that's all about. Smoking crack, I know what that's all about. Crack Anonymous.
Well, all I know is I went to NA, and I've popped in and out of there since a couple of times, and there's not a lot of talk about God. I used to say, I'll sit in the
Or the
meeting.
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And count down to see how long it takes for the first person to say something about God and spirituality and, like you said, the steps, and it don't happen. If you're not the one who instigates it, nobody does.
You want to hear the lack of presence of God? Go to a GAB, Gamblers Anonymous, because I've been going for 2 years now. No one's talking about God or any, and they're
What
all
are they talking
relapsing
about?
constantly.
Yeah.
I'm the only one they're talking about God. They're like,
What are they talking about? No?
They talk about gambling.
Gambling.
Yeah, about how they hit the big one. You know, they're all reminiscing, man.
Tommy go, where you
Guys
go?
with like 40 years, and I mean, you hear them talking, they're drooling practically, talking about, yeah, we hit the big one, and I was the biggest bookie in New York, and this is the, and I'm like, how the fuck? I feel more like gambling after I leave those meetings than when I go in.
That's what NA did with me. I mean, I said, you know what? When I first saw that movie, Pulp Fiction, there was a giant needle that filled the whole screen from the theater. From this side was the tip of the needle, and that side was the plunger. And it went, and it drew blood into the needle, and it went, and shot it all. And I said, that looked just like an NA meeting.
That was in Pulp Fiction? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's
Was
when
that
he
the very
gets
beginning?
stoned, yeah. I think it's when John Travolta gets stoned, and then he comes out and she snorted. She thought it was coke, and she snorted it, and he's got to go take her to the place and get a
Yeah,
shot.
she overdosed. Yeah.
Well, he's in the bathroom shooting up, I think, while she's out there going, ooh, coke. And she snorts his heroin.
Yeah, and then they stick that, they take that, get a heart going.
I don't know, it was pretty funny, though.
That was a wild movie.
Yeah, it was.
That's all everybody was talking. When I think first came out, man, that was like the first movie of that kind of type, you know.
That guy shoots the kid in the back seat. Fucking blood everywhere.
That catapulted what's his face into stardom, man.
So
Who shot the kid in the back seat? The black guy or the white guy? I think it was John Travolta, wasn't it? I don't remember. He was waving the pistol around, and pow, there's fucking blood
Yeah, it
everywhere.
goes off.
That was just like those Boondock Saints when he shoots his girlfriend's cat. He puts the gun down on the table, and it goes off, and the cat goes everywhere.
Want to see the sickest movie ever made? It's called The Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's about this mad doctor that sews like 4 people together, and he sews their mouths to their assholes. He makes like a human caterpillar, and the guy cuts holes out of their mouth, and he sews it to someone's ass, and he gets 2 more people.
It's an American
Ah.
movie?
It is the sickest fucking movie.
I've never
I've heard
Like,
it.
Bob and I are into horror flicks, so we saw that one. Like, that wasn't bad enough. We saw Human Centipede 2, and that one's even sicker.
Oh my God.
Then he gives the first guy X-Lax. So he shits, and it goes into the other guy's mouth, it comes out his ass into the next guy's mouth. It's the most
disgusting.
horrible, disgusting movie you've ever seen.
You,
I
have
guess
you
so.
seen
That
Eraserhead?
Oh, yeah, it makes that look
That's
like...
an old
yeah,
one, man.
yeah, that's from like...
I remember walking out of that.
What was it?
Eraserhead.
Oh, I haven't seen
That
that.
was a really weird.
I'm not big on horror movies.
It was like a cult movie, but it was, yeah, a lot of disgusting.
I like them when they're funny, like that Dan Aykroyd movie when it was Nothing But Trouble. Dan Aykroyd was the judge. And
Oh, that was a weird movie, yeah.
I forget. I think who else was in that? I forget.
Oh,
Chevy Chase was driving.
Oh, when he's got all that weird makeup on,
Yeah.
the weird house where they go down
Yeah,
the chute.
yeah.
What time was the name of it?
That was weird.
Nothing
that
But
was
Trouble.
weird. They make human sausages
Is that the
out
name?
of them.
Nothing but
Yeah.
Nothing
that was-
But Trouble. Yeah, that was
Yeah, it had
funny
the
as
weird-
shit.
the weird-
man.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a weird
What's her name? Demi Moore makes friends with those 2 retarded fat guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they were weird characters.
She must have been hurting for parts that year.
Yeah, man.
Well, Kevin's flying a little, right?
He's buying a plane. He just got a $500,000 check from somewhere, from
Steve.
Medicare. No, from Medicare. One check for $500,000.
Nice. More gifts.
Yeah, he's buying a prototype, some kind of prototype plane. All I can picture is like a John Denver scene, you know.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
He's still sitting in the seat of that thing somewhere out there over the Pacific Ocean, you know.
really? They never found it? Yeah, that's right, they never did.
He went down in the Pacific, and they say, somebody said he's probably still sitting there strapped in the seat at the wheel of that thing.
I thought he crashed in a mountain, didn't he? No?
No, they never found him. They buried an empty box.
Yeah, one of those propellers in the back.
Yeah, he made it in his garage or some
Did
shit.
he
Look, I
really?
made my own plane, and the next thing, where'd he go?
Rocky Mountain High. Poor guy.
Same thing with that real rich guy. What was him? He smacked into the mountain. They found his wallet with some ripped up $100 bills on him. Like a multi-billionaire guy. He was missing for like 3 months, and they go, he's up in them hills, smacked into a hill somewhere. And one day some guy said, yeah, I think it was a dog came running up with a bone or something in his mouth.
Ah, jeez.
First somebody found a couple of $100 bills that were kind of bloody like, and then the dog came running up with a bone or something.
Give the dog a bone.
Yeah, he went back to a half last night.
Was he here?
Richie's, yeah. He said he went out of state and he just didn't want to tell anybody.
Well, you know he got into a fight in here on Christmas Day.
And
Did he?
Did he really?
Yeah, he got into a fist fight with that motorcycle guy.
On the day he disappeared.
Well, they picked him up. Maureen took him to Richie's house tonight. Mo, you know Mo.
What do you mean? Yeah, they picked him up on the street. He was living on
No,
the street.
yeah, he was, like you said, he just popped up after a week.
Was he sober?
Yeah, he was so.
Yeah, he was sober. He hasn't been drinking.
Well, that's all that counts. Well, shit, that other guy, what's his name? Keith's been hanging out. I didn't know Keith was drinking again. I've seen him 2 or 3 times. I thought he was still sober.
That great big guy,
Keith,
Yeah.
huh?
he was here.
Well, there's 2 of them. 2 really great big Keiths.
Really?
One just got out of prison recently.
Right.
One's got like 10, 20 DUIs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
I don't know how he didn't get arrested today.
Who's the other
I
Keith?
saw him. He was here last
He was
night.
at the last bottom line, and he popped up tonight. He was drained, to say the least.
Yeah, so
Whatever happened to
He could
Lurch
be
with
gone.
the sunken in eyes, married to,
Lurch.
you know,
Rochelle.
he was married to
Rochelle.
Rochelle, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Victor? No.
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 yeah, she
He
shows
was
up in the
He
So-
morning.
owes me
tennis
$40.
racket.
I
Does
think
he?
he was, yeah.
Michelle,
Wait, the big guy.
He owes me money. But I let it go. I don't even want to mess with him.
Kevin.
No.
No, he had a weird name, like Lurch or something.
Roger.
Roger, that's
That's it, Roger. That's it.
Roger?
so many tennis rackets.
Yeah, his name was
like 8
Roger.
years ago. 10 months.
Yeah, she comes in like real early in the morning.
I was talking to him one day and he goes, I want to quit drinking, but I'm going to keep smoking pot. I said, well,
Yeah, he's a doper too.
need we say anymore? He was smoking that spice stuff at the time, too.
Oh, what the hell
What?
is that, man? I don't even know
What
what,
is
that
that?
is.
Spice,
What's that?
illegal marijuana. No one knows what it is, so it's legal to smoke. And
It's like the
What's that
kids'
common
choice
shit?
now.
What's kava people are drinking?
Yeah, what is that?
it's
I don't
new
know.
shit they keep coming up
They got
with.
shops. They got like kava shops, like coffee stores where people sit and get wasted on that stuff.
It's just a matter of time before they zero in on it and go, that's illegal too, and this. They mix up shit in a fucking jar and go, here, try this. Mikey, he likes it. How else could you come up with that shit? You know, you're sitting around and trying, oh, that stuff didn't work, it made me sick.
Like the hookah places, you know, everyone's smoking out of the big pipes. You know, who's to say someone just doesn't drop in a crack rock while they're sitting there in the friggin' bars? Who's going to notice the difference, you know?
I've never seen a bar like that.
They got them on South Beach. There's one on Clematis. They're
What
all
are they
over the
smoking
place.
in the pipes? Marijuana?
Tobacco.
Tobacco.
Oh,
Right,
tobacco.
yeah,
They got them up
They,
here
those,
too.
those India pipes, you know, with the 4 or 5 things. It's
The Egyptians are into that.
hookah bars, they call them.
The Egyptians.
That was a little after I quit drinking.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, it's like it's been around 10 years, 8 years.
Well, we had bongs, you know, everybody had some bongs had 1 or 2 little things on it, and I always thought, that's a waste of smoke, man. You a bong that wouldn't,
A couple of Egyptian guys in my neighborhood, we used to go up their house and They had one of those days with all the
There's always a
hoses
couple of
coming
guys
out.
like that.
And
All
they
the
put
time.
they put the hash in the bowl, right? Then they take walnuts, a half a walnut shell, put it on the stove till it was like burning like embers. Then they take the pliers, put it on top of the bowl, and then you start inhaling the hash, and the hot walnut would make the hash smoke up. That's like, damn man, they had some good hash though. Had to hold on to the
Have you seen that
walnut
new
and walk
series about, there's one on cocaine, there's one on hash, it's like a hour and a half long, Cocaine USA, and it's,
Yeah.
man, I tell you, like Lima, Peru,
You mean one on Court TV?
yeah, one of those stations.
Court TV's got Drugs Incorporated.
Drugs Incorporated,
And
yeah.
every
You see
week
the
they
one
have
on
a
crack?
different skit.
That show on, it just came out last week.
I didn't see the crack. I
USA.
saw the heroin one and the pills, the
Kids in
oxycodone.
Lima,
I've seen
man,
that
these
one.
13-year-old kids, they're getting like crack rocks for 23 cents, and they're robbing people in the streets for them left and right. I mean, everybody's hooked over there.
They do other things too. They did one on the
23
Mexican
cents.
kids riding the train through
Full
Mexico.
packets of crack.
Nicaraguan kids
23
hopped that
cents?
train or whatever.
23 cents, yeah. Wow.
It's like one hit, I guess.
23 cents.
I'm pretty sure they do a new one every week. They got like Saturday night or
Yeah.
something.
The one on hash is really good, how it's made and shit. How they ship it over. Hash is real big in New York.
What is hash?
so-
Compressed pot, isn't it?
It's resin. It's
Resin.
resin of They take like marijuana and then they put it like in a basket and then they shake the resin off of it and
I
it
saw
goes
them-
down into a screen and then
They rub it in
compress
their hands like
Yeah.
this, and then scrape their hands and all the leaves and
It
shit.
takes a shitload of pot though to make hash.
Yeah,
yeah.
I never knew it was made from pot.
Well, they scrape it off of their hands. They rub it in their
Condensed pot,
hands and all the
basically,
shit
yeah.
comes
that's
out and
what
they
it
scrape
is.
the
All,
hair.
all the THC.
One guy from my neighborhood was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Morocco.
That's where it
And
comes from.
he used to
All-
send ounces back, but he has to grind it into powder. But he'd pay like $7 for an ounce of hash. You know,
Wow.
and then we get
What was
it in
that
Jersey
movie,
City and sell it for
Midnight,
a couple of
Midnight
$100.
Express.
Midnight
yeah.
Rider or whatever the hell was that?
Midnight Express.
Midnight
That was in
Express.
Turkey, yeah. Oh, that poor fucking guy.
That poor guy.
You don't want to fucking get caught with trying to take drugs out of that country, man. That's still the same today from what I hear, too. You know, like if people say don't get caught in the Broward County, system. You know, don't get caught in the fucking Turkish system.
Especially if you're American.
Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't get out of there for how long did it? They were in there 8 years or something.
William, what's his name? William Hayes.
How did that girl beat that case? Where did she kill? And what country? In Italy.
The what?
Young, pretty
Yeah,
girl.
she got off. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like a real
she's
butcher
on.
job.
I don't know. She said, I think she was innocent.
Amanda Knox.
That's it.
They let her go.
That's
She's
it.
back
That's
in
it.
Washington State. That was 2 months ago.
She was there for a couple of years now, right? Locked up for 2 or 3
Yeah.
years.
Well, they let her go really, I think, because the prosecutor was
They
so
said,
overzealous.
yeah, and they said all the evidence was messed up, and from what I read and heard about it, it was like they just what they call ramrodded her in.
Yeah, they wanted to get American conviction.
Trying to get even for Jersey Shore. Makes them all look like fucking morons.
Yeah, the morons are making a lot of money. Though.
Yeah, getting drunk, going to nightclubs,
I
getting
know,
paid
yeah,
for
it's
it, making
fucking
fools
amazing.
out
Come
of
back in
themselves.
20 years, I bet they're broke mopping
Oh
floors.
yeah, exactly.
They thought it was going to last forever.
Yeah. Well, if they're smart, they take that money and invest it. Even if you just put, they're all making good money doing that show. Invest it in the right.
Probably the same with us. Whichever one's doing more drinking and drugs is going to end up broke with nothing.
Yeah.
Doing the celebrity rehab thing, going, I don't know where it all went. It's just gone.
I love that show.
Me too.
I know. I'm gonna watch Rehab while I come here and watch it.
Dr. Drew's making money, man.
Yeah. Did you see how fucked up that kid from Taxi was? He died?
No.
Jeff Conaway, really good-looking guy. He was with Judd on that TV series,
Taxi.
Taxi.
Good looking guy, that's a strange quote.
Well, he was. That's what he was. An actor working the cab company.
That's worse than my Steve.
Okay. All right. I'm all over the place.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's all right. Oh, yeah, you probably can wear pink shirts too. You gotta be a real man to.
I have gratitude today.
What was that show where the guy goes, you have to be a confident heterosexual, and he goes, a confident heterosexual? He goes, confident. He goes, "Whew, I don't know. It's the singing Rex, the singing cowboy. It was a funny show. It was Tom Berenger was Rex, the singing Rex O'Hurlihan, the singing.
Rhinestone Cowboy.
No, that was Rhinestone was
Glenn Campbell.
Sylvester Stallone, wasn't it?
No, no.
Yeah, right, with Dolly Parton.
This was Rustler's Rhapsody. That was the name of it. Had what was his name? Eddie? No,
Black guy?
no. This is an old white guy.
Andy Griffith?
Yeah, Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith was the cattle baron.
That's right. He was the cat baron. That's right.
He was the cattle baron. It was
Holy Christ! I never saw that one.
there's a bad. They looked identical. The bad guy wears all black hat, and the good guy wears all white with a white hat. Then I think that when we went to have a gun shootout or something, the guy with the black suit came in with a white suit, and he goes, "I can't fight him now. I can't fight him."
Angelo, 23 years.
Yeah, he's been coming at night.
I guess it's better to be laughing like that than
Crying.
crying all the goddamn time. Jesus. Not to mention any names.
Tommy, I heard, is back in the hospital.
Brain surgery, Tom?
Yeah.
Well, we went into Imperial Point because it was cold, for the cold spell, the last cold spell.
About a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Came, signed
And they
himself
wouldn't
out.
operate on him because he didn't agree to go into a detox program. So he signed himself out of the hospital.
Yeah.
He blew through all his money. Now he's in the hospital again. He's got $800 built up in his account. So when he gets out, he's going to go on a hell of a run.
Yeah.
But man, he looked fucking bad, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even like talking
He got
to
mad
him,
at me.
man.
He wanted to fist fight me because I wouldn't take him to the motel. I said, dude,
He's so fucking angry. I didn't
Yeah.
like
He's an
talking
angry
to him.
guy.
Yeah.
he'd never done that to me though. In the years I've known him, he was never that argumentative where he almost, tried to get into a fight with me. That's
I
when
think
said,
he's
"You
just
know
an
what,
angry
I'm not."
fucking drunk. I used to have this one guy would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, "I'm sorry." I go, "Man, god damn, man. 3 o'clock in the morning, crying like a baby." I go, "Do you remember calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning last night, crying like a baby?" He goes, "Did I?
Last night?
Was there anybody else you called and
Doug,
did
remember
that?"
that guy that used to work, he lived in the Florida house for a little while, then he was like the maintenance man for the big building next to the Florida house.
That's who I was talking about.
What's his name?
He just called
Is
me
he-
like a couple of weeks
Yeah?
ago from New York.
He's still in and out.
Crying like a baby.
I remember he had he had some time, not much, but at one point. And
I
he was-
love you, man.
I remember he called me one day, and he said, "Can you come get me?" I said, "Where are you?" He said, "I don't know." I said, "I can't come get you." I don't know. He said, "I'm in the hotel." I said, "What's the address?" He said, "I don't know."
He told me. He
I
said,
called Doug. Doug said, "Just let him drink. When he wants to get honest with himself, we can help him."
the black people in Fort Lauderdale were beating the shit out of him when he was falling asleep on the. So he had to go back to New York because he was getting tired of getting beat up.
Oh yeah, it's a shame. Some people just can't get
Shit,
it.
that guy knows more about sobriety than 9 out of 10 people that come in here.
Yeah.
He went to those Jim B. I took him to those Jim B. meetings for like 3 straight years, man. I took him with me all the time. I'd stop and get him everywhere.
I just read a good article about the Jim B. That was one of the originals.
The
Jim
anti-God
Burwell, yeah, the anti-guy, yeah. The guy who made them put as God as we understand it.
Yeah. Anti-God, that's in the 12 and 12.
What's it say? What do you mean it said 12?
What?
What's in the 12 and 12?
Oh, not the 12 and 12, comes of age.
Uh,
The phrase anti-God. These people are the anti-God crowd.
Yeah, he said that. Oh, I thought he said at one point they, like when he had 6 months sober, they were all starting to get worried. They're like, "What are we going to do with this guy? He's still sober, and he's like, and every meeting he comes to, he talks about, you know, yeah, you don't have to believe in God." They were hoping that he'd either get drunk or die, you know. But he stayed sober, you know. But you know, he found the God his own understanding eventually.
That's what I quizzed
He
a couple
came
of the
in the article. He said, he was speaking at one meeting, or he was giving a speech somewhere, and he said, "I came to believe that God and good were synonymous." You know?
I'll tell you
and
something
he
that
tried
I
to look for
learned
the good in
by
himself,
quizzing them.
other people.
Go to find one of those anti-God people and ask them, "Do you believe that there's a power running the universe?" And they go, "Oh yeah, there's definitely some kind of force that runs the universe, but it ain't God." And I go, "It's that 3-letter word you're having trouble with."
Yeah, that's
All you need to do is,
like
I said,
12 just to hear you and Kevin have your disputes back and forth.
all you need to do is assign that power that runs the universe a name. Now let's see, what could we call it?
I heard Kevin speak at the rock group one night about a year ago. You know, he gave a good story, and then near the end he said, "You know, I'm sorry I didn't talk about God. I don't believe in God." And the first person to share said, "Your whole story was about God. You just don't want to admit it." You know?
Look at his keychain. He's got a cross under
Does
it.
he?
Christ, the crucifix.
Get
I'm
outta
like, what
here.
is that? You're talking about you not believing it, carrying around.
He don't want to admit it or say it.
Stir it up.
That's what I said. I quizzed him one time. I quizzed a bunch of people, the anti-God crowd. I'm like, well, then what is it that's keeping you sober?
Yeah,
Self-will.
yeah, that's what they
No, you quiz them, they'll tell you. There's a power running this place, but it
Yeah.
ain't God, because
Yeah.
God's religion.
The power of the
God
rule.
ain't- Yeah.
So it's the word.
That's what violently anti-religious. That's the only word I could think of fixing to it. Still hasn't gotten over the resentment they have towards religion to the point that they can say the word God and be comfortable with it.
Makes sense.
What's that one in the big book? It's like the real long one. It's the, who's going? Let me see if I can find it.
There's a long story in the big book?
No, long, and like a real long phrase, but instead of using the word God, he uses this really long phrase. It's like the long,
Spirit of the universe?
it's right after that. I'll find it.
Czar of the heavens?
No, just,
Circle King?
Spirit. Let's see if I can find it that way. There's got to be a lot of spirit. I'm trying to think, is it when we agnostics or?
That's in Bill's story
No,
where he
it's probably
says,
his-
Spirit of the universe, the Czar of the heavens,
Yeah.
but I couldn't believe in a God that was personal to me.
Doctor's opinion, morbid alcoholism.
Did you get any DVDs, Tony?
I'll bring it tomorrow.
Did you get them?
No.
Oh. I just found like 3 more freaking libraries, dude. There's one on Atlantic and A1A, one right behind the blimp station. There's one over here on Power Line in Hillsboro. I didn't know there was that many freaking libraries.
I still got the Coral Springs Library, and I haven't even started to get through that.
Remember what I said, though? Most of them have the same shit.
People actually go to libraries still. I mean, everything's iPad, so.
Yeah, there's lots of kids go. When I go into the one in Coral Springs, there's always kids in there.
I don't
Yeah.
like the fact you can't
No.
put the book in your computer. You know, you gotta go up to their website on the line and then look at it. You can download a dictionary and a
No,
thesaurus.
it comes
and,
up. You have to open up with what do we download on your computer? Adobe Reader. You need to.
Oh, no, yeah, it was Adobe, but it doesn't say Adobe. It says free reader. And I have to, it's not one of my default programs either. I have to click it to bring it up every time I want to read something.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to my daughter's boyfriend. He's like not a hacker, so he says he's not a hacker because he's got all this money, he drives a new Beamer, and he don't work, he never leaves the house. He's on his computer all the time.
Yeah.
But he says he can literally download any program in the world for free. You name it, he can download it. So my
Wow.
brother-in-law, Christmas time, was quizzing him. He's like, well, what about this one? It's some photo one that's like $400. He goes, no problem, I can do that. He can do them
Dude,
all.
there's $1,800 programs up there at Staples.
He
There's
says he can do
teachers in
he says
schools
he
and
can get into
shit.
anything. Guy scares me. My daughter's living
I'm
with
not
this
good
guy.
at that.
I was looking at him, I was going, man, who's going to pay $1,800 for that fucking computer program? God
People
almighty.
are going to use it to make money.
Teachers. It's for teachers, yeah. It's got shit on there like computer graphics teaching and advanced computer programming and all that shit.
And you can charge people to teach that.
So I thought I was looking at, fuck, does that say $1,800? God damn.
That's what they charge in the store for it?
It's right there on the shelf. $1,800.
Well, look at Rosetta Stone. It's like $600
Oh, is it?
to learn a different language.
But that's only one language for $600?
Yeah, the full four. There's 4 steps in it. Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah. It's like $600 for Rosetta Stone. That's why I haven't bought. They had one in Costco. You know, what didn't have the name Rosetta Stone. It was supposed to be the same thing, but it wasn't advertised. It was about $180. But
Wonder if they work.
I don't know. You know, I never heard anybody say to me, "Oh yeah, I did it and
Yeah.
worked like that." You know, like they advertise it. You know, and
Just
it's
hang
like
around
that
Mexico
stuff.
for 10 years.
They advertise on TV and radio all the time. Sensa. You know, if you want to lose 30 pounds really fast, you sprinkle it on your food.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either, but I never heard it. And
Probably gives you, it's probably like X-Lax, gives you instant diarrhea. You know? Put it on your food, you shit it right out.
Yeah, but 5 years later, everybody's dropping from colon cancer
Yeah,
and
exactly.
bladder cancer and shit. Yeah.
plus, I've never talked to anybody who said, "Yeah, I used it and it worked good." You know, and it sells so much of it. You think you'd have to talk to somebody that used it. You know.
I don't
All
ever
those
hear anybody
attorneys
say
are
they're...
advertising. They're saying that Accutane, you know, that stuff for the acne, that stuff will give you like some kind of brain damage. There's
Yeah.
class action lawsuits now for that. There's one for another guy.
Proactive is the big one for acne, right? But
Yeah.
I think that's good stuff.
I used some of that shit when I was a kid. I don't remember what it was, but it was some pretty serious stuff for pimple.
Yeah.
It was Accutane. You could be part of a class action lawsuit.
This was back in the early 80s, so.
Clear. So.
This stuff smelled more like bleach or something.
Yeah, I remember
bleach
that.
on your face.
Clearasil was the big one.
Yeah, I
years
remember
ago.
Clearasil.
But now this big one that
It's
they
like
talk about
makeup.
is
You put
called
it on, it's
Proactive.
like like male makeup.
Yeah.
This stuff was like bleach. You put it on there and it burned the fucking pimple all over the
You
forehead.
got a giant crater.
Killing any fucking germs that were in there, I'll tell you that. At least we're not talking about drugs anymore.
Yeah. Giant syringes and hash.
Bad-mouthed NA meeting, and sit around talking about needles and heroin.
How about this guy Gerard with his the way he's emphasized his name? Is that like an ego thing?
He's weird. I always go, "Hi, Gerard!"
I gotta walk out sometimes because it's just too loud for me. You know? It's too loud for me. And he says, "I suffer from the chronic disease of alcoholism." I
Alcoholism!
say, "You got 19 years sober and you're still suffering from
Yeah, he's still
alcoholism? What the hell are you doing in here? You know? What the hell? You know? Well, is that just the catchphrase
Well,
that he
right,
likes
Mike
to say?
Rouster, you got 22 years, and I'm a drunk!
Yeah.
I'm still a drunk!
He's sitting here one day, we were reading the chapter, "There is a solution," and he goes, "There's no solution."
I remember that, yeah. He said that a few times.
The guy
There's no
goes,
solution to
"Mike,
this
we're reading
alcoholism."
a chapter called "There is a Solution."
But Rochelle used to say that too. She used to say, I suffer from alcoholism. And I said, Rochelle, you had 3 years sober. You're still suffering? She said, maybe I'm not. Yeah, she said, maybe I'm not. But this guy's got 19 years, and every time he introduces himself, my name is Gerard, I suffer from the chronic disease of alcoholism.
Well, that's what I say, is some people just aren't thinking about what they say, because there's people that come in here and they had 20 years and they go, I decide whether I'm going to drink or not today. And I go, that's strange, because I decided I wasn't going to drink anymore, and I drank any fucking way. It didn't matter that I decided. That's what I came here for.
Well, most people forget that, that it's their higher power keeping them sober.
They're not thinking about what they're saying.
Yeah.
What you made a decision to do was to turn your life over to God. You made a decision to quit drinking, and it didn't make a freaking bit of difference. That's what is so misleading for
I
new
put the
people.
drink down. Yeah. For a little while you can put it down, but what the hell? I stop bothering. Every time I read something new, now I'm starting to think that what I should just do I should just go to speaker meetings and speak about what it was like, what happened, what it's like now. Because I was thinking about, like, when they said, when I read this article, it was a big, like, 3-page article about Jim B. And he said, when they went to meetings in the beginning, they sat at Bill Wilson's apartment in a circle. He sat in the middle, he talked, and they listened. And I wonder, what did he talk about? He talked about how he drank and how he found the high power and how he got sober. So I'm like,
My sponsor told me, he said the importance of telling people how you drank and what it was like was because people don't know you. They think,
Right.
for all they know, you're not one of them. You could be some average
oh
Joe.
yeah, you got to identify, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bill's
But if
story
people
is
know you, if you're
16
sitting in a room full of
pages.
people that know you.
The first 8 pages of Bill's story, or 8.5, 9 actually,
Yeah.
is all about
Well,
his drinking, and then the
Think
second
about what the
half
purpose was, though. The purpose was to make a connection to the guy who doesn't know Bill. He's going,
Yeah.
who is this schmuck? This could be one of them religious nut jobs going to tell me about God again. And then he's reading on, he goes, this guy is an alcoholic. He says he's standing next to a window, going to jump out the window or something.
And then I was listening to Joe and Charlie the other day, and they said, like in the beginning, in the beginning of We as Gnostics, it says, if you find that when you're drinking, you cannot quit entirely
That's
because
two
you have the
questions.
obsession. 2 questions. And the next one, or if when you start drinking, you can't control how much you take because of the allergy, then you are probably alcoholic. So he said, somebody took those 2 questions, turned it into 10 questions, and wrote a pamphlet. He said, now they got another pamphlet that says 44 questions.
Yeah.
He said, one of the questions says, do you drink alone? And the other guy said, Charlie says, well, let me think. If you're buying, no. If I'm buying, yes. That's how I was, If I was buying my own, I wasn't inviting anybody else. But if I needed to chip in with people, and I was drinking, and we were drinking together, or smoking together. But he said, yeah, they keep, next 10 years from now, it'll be 101 questions or whatever. But
What they do in GA, you answer 20 questions, and if you answer like so many yes to so many out of 20, then they confirm you as a compulsive gambler.
yeah, it's the gambling right there.
Yeah,
It's all odds.
Yeah.
What are the odds? It's 20
Never even
questions.
thought of that. Yes, that's gambling right there.
Yeah, let's roll the dice. See how many you get out of 20.
Do they have made the decision to turn your life over to a power greater?
Yeah, all the steps are the same, but they don't say having had a spiritual awakening. They said having had like a change of character. It's like, why the fuck would they take the spiritual awakening part out? That's like the best part, And it's like the one main thing they took out was probably the most important. And then they wonder why nobody recovers in that program. The only people that have long-term sobriety in GA are the ones that have been in AA for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's like, the dual addicted ones.
Do you go to meetings with Harvey? Little Harvey?
Yeah, I've seen him in quite a few of them. And he's the only one that really says anything profound worth listening to. He was the only reason I ever went back to those meetings. Was to
Well, they're thinking about turning Miami into a big casino haven down there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you think you've heard stories in AA, you should hear some of the shit in GA, man. People,
But
'cause,
that
you
guy
know,
Robert
you can only spend so much money in one night on alcohol or drugs. And gambling, I mean, you can bet $1 million in one shot. So people wipe themselves out of everything. They end up.
By 12 o'clock, the people, you know, in the casino live like this, they're on the streets.
I hear stories about
Drain
people,
broke.
they actually shit their pants and they piss their pants at the slot machines because they don't want to get up because
Right.
they think they're going to lose
Yeah.
their luck on that machine. Or someone's going to... So in the casinos, they got attendants that walk around and pull these old people off the chairs and they shit themselves. They have to throw them out. And they're sitting there spending their Social Security checks, you know, that they can't afford.
What about the ones that beat the machine? You ever see those? Come on, you bitch, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, knocking them
And
over.
I'm embarrassed. Because girl, I'm with a lot.
Terrible.
I worked with a guy who is a gambler, and he's still gambling. But he's in AA for the oxycodone and all that shit, and he's a completely different person on payday. I call him the Friday Steve. Friday Steve's here.
I told Mike Rosner I was going to GA.
Well, he gets the
Oh, yeah.
Mike goes,
Yeah, baby! Out of nowhere. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I told Mike I was going
He's
to
ready
GA.
to go?
He goes, that's a bunch of shit. He goes, Tony, you don't have a gambling problem. He says, you got a financial problem. I said, yeah, because I gamble. He goes, no, you need to manage your money better. That's the problem.
Mike Rosen.
Yeah. And he goes, I'm a GA counselor, I know. And I'm like, the nice picture of, you know, is that like switching from beer to wine? Same kind of thing, you know, I can manage my money, but...
Within my first year of going to the House of Hope, my whole freaking perception of counselors went out the window when I saw a guy come in after me and become a counselor while I was still there, and I go, there goes...
Wow.
The whole counselor thing just went out the fucking window. Any
Wait, what
credibility
happened?
that I gave any of them was gone.
What happened?
Some guy that came in the House of Hope after I came in there, and he was sober less than I, ended up with a badge that said, Alcohol and Drug Addiction Counselor for the House of Hope. And I'm like, what the... Oh, this place is a fucking... what do they call it? The fucking
They
loonies.
crack
are running
down
the
on
place.
That's
that.
what
They
they are.
crack down. Now you got to have a bachelor's degree. You got to get certified with a bachelor's degree.
Well, how did Mike Rosner get one?
He was grandfathered in before
Oh.
they changed the laws.
And who else? There's 3 or 4 of them
Quite
around
a
here
few of
walking
them.
around. I'm a counselor in alcohol rehab.
Yeah. Bob Hathaway, a lot of those older guys, they were certified before you had to go to the proper school.
We'd show up on these construction sites, and the superintendent was this real authentic guy in a truck. Yeah, I'm the superintendent. I go, wow, he's a superintendent. And one day we had this new kid named Hank digging holes for us on our slab crew. And the next thing I know, Hank's the superintendent on this job. And I go, there goes my whole perception of superintendents. Last week he was digging holes on the slab crew. This week he's a superintendent for Willard Brothers.
Probably the brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Get the
That's-
fuck out of there.
That's the way it works
Who you
in
know?
business, yeah. It's not who you know, it's who you blow, they used to say on Wall Street. So yeah, look at it. Well, I mean, that's why, like today, it's very important for these kids, you know, to go to college. But if you go to college, you go to like FAU, that's one thing. But if you go to Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan State, you know, they have these buddy systems there, you know, and they all take care of each other, you know. But
They all protest Wall Street together?
no, I mean, you know, they look out for each other, you know. If you're an alumni, you know, it means something if you go to one of these major colleges.
You know, my daughter got her bachelor's. I mean, she took half of her, 90% of her classes online. She scammed her way through it. And now she's like, oh, fuck school. She goes, now she's staying home with her boyfriend doing applications for Apple Computer.
Yeah.
Coming up with like different apps. They pay you, it's $1 for every one you sell. Apple gets 40 cents, you get 60 cents.
Yeah.
So she's coming up with an app now where you can change photos and put like actual cat ears, real cat ears and stuff like that, animal parts on your face.
Yeah.
And they're expecting to sell like a couple of million of them. I said, hey, great, you can pay off my house.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
But that's what kids are doing now. I mean,
Yeah, and you gotta learn the computers.
yeah, it's all about the computer.
Whatever happened to Noel? Remember him? The porn site guy? Had the yellow Hummer, was always coming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No?
Noel, no.
Noel, yeah.
Yeah.
Come Christmas, boy, he would disappear for a week or two. And like, Noel.
lot of those people.
Yeah, he had porn sites or something.
that what he
Everybody
did?
knew. Is it porn sites?
Does he have that accent?
What about,
He's a
Yusef?
gazillionaire from
What's-
fucking porn sites.
What's up with Yusef? I haven't seen him in
Is that
there.
a state?
Yeah, he's back in Jersey trying to get together with his wife, still smoking crack, and he's got his trucker's license. He's driving around the country. Still getting high, though.
Yeah?
I tell you, it wasn't a good sign when he was always in the parking lot selling DVDs.
Yeah.
I just said, there's something ain't right about that. I just got a gut feeling it don't look right. You're kind of like sleeping with some married woman, you know. You got 20 years and you're sleeping with a married woman. You go, it's something ain't
Well, but I
right.
think the sex addiction took him back out. You know, he was hanging out in those sex clubs and all that crap.
He came to my house one night about 2 in the morning, and he said he needed to borrow money. I'm thinking, you said, he said, no, I'm going to, what's that? It's like a cat house on the highway, something, it's like a whole house, it's a whole house.
Yeah, it's on the one on Hillsborough.
Deanie's Hideaway or
Deanie's Hideaway, that's
That's
where he
it.
goes.
What is it?
Yeah, Deanie's Hideaway.
Deanie's Hideaway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Dean
sex
got
club.
it.
It's
You
been
had
there
it 20
forever.
times, Bill.
Yeah.
You had to.
Where is it?
It's 2
Where-
blocks from my fucking house.
Right.
Where is it?
Hillsborough?
Right on Hillsborough, just past Power Line, right before 441.
Going west of town?
Yeah, the right-
There's like a trailer park right there in a wooded
I mean,
area.
it's a big fancy
Yeah.
building. It's probably a $400,000.
It's sort of like
property.
Las Vegas, but it's legal?
No, you walk in there, it's a sex club. You pay like $50 for a membership, and you walk in, it's like one big room, and it's a giant orgy.
Yeah, I like you, you like
But it's a
me.
bottle club. You start off at the bar with a bottle club. I had some chick take me there. I met her met this chick in a bar. She's like, "You ever been to the Trapeze?" And I'm like, "The Trapeze? What the hell is that?" So she takes me over to this place. It was one of those places. We walk in, and they all knew her. That ain't a good sign, you know. So she pulls a bottle out of her trunk, and she sits at the
Bottle
bar.
of booze?
Yeah, it was a bottle club. You start off sitting
You
in the
bring
bar.
your own bottle in
You
other words?
bring your own bottle, you pay for the mixers, then you go into another room, which is like a big fuck parlor. Well, no, you go into this one room, you take your clothes off, it's like a locker room. Everybody strips down to towels. Then you go into this other room that's like a big fucking quarters. There's all kinds of weird shit going on in there. I walked into that room with her, I said, I gotta get out of here. I said, it's too creepy for me. They all knew her. But I asked him, I said, what do the girls look like that go in there? Are they hot? He goes, nah, they're all fat and ugly, but I fuck them anyway. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he told me. He said,
Yeah, I
"There's
said,
no-
all the
there's
chicks
no
are
beauties
ugly."
in there.
No, hot chicks don't go to places like that.
They don't
I
need
wonder
it.
if you have to have a card to show you've been tested in the last
Yeah,
6
that's what
months or
I'm
something.
They hand out condoms at the door. But they're making money on the membership. You know, people pay for the
Yeah.
membership.
All right, who's got the promises?
Yeah, on that note, what are the promises?
Who closes up these days?
I
That
locked up
lady
on the
Jerry.
night that I'm here.
Somebody locks it every night.
I've been locking up like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but I've been missing Friday and Saturday lately.
I left on Thursday,
Leave
Friday,
it up
Saturday, but
unlocked
I
so
don't miss
Keith
it.
can have a place to sleep tonight.
Keith?
That's what that guy
Is that what he
Steve
said?
said.
Keith,
He'll
yeah.
be in jail.
He's in jail by now?
Yeah. Or, hopefully not hurt.
I texted him earlier, he didn't answer. I was trying to, I said, so you're drinking, huh? And he never got back to me.
Probably lost his phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was joking around with Kenny the other night when he called me, and I go, yeah, you're on Ken 17 now. He goes, what do you mean Ken 17? I go, that ain't nothing, Kenny. I got Kevin number 28. I said, well, what's 28? I go, that's the 28th number he's called me from, and said, this is my new phone. I lost my old one. That actually says that in my phone, Kenny 17 and Kevin 28.
I was thinking of another guy before I came in here too. His name was John. He was like he was a little taller than me, maybe a little bit chubbier, red face, balding hair. He had like a blondish
Oh, I
hair.
remember him.
He used to come
Yeah,
to the
Car salesman.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember John.
He had what a line of shit he had, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But you probably remember him too. He used to come
I'm
to
sure
the
I
morning
do.
meetings a lot. Yeah.
Kind of heavy set, yeah.
Yeah, he used to talk a very good game, you know. But,
Talked about how, had all this money and this great car salesman,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
lost everything.
yeah.
He's like homeless for
Isn't that one of the stories in the big book? Had to sell cars for a business I once owned.
yeah, that's him. There's a solution. Jim stories. Jim or Fred. Jim, right?
God, a lot of people disappeared through the years, man.
I never noticed that until I listened to the Joe and Charlie tapes. You know, when the guy, he says, I showed up to work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know, like, what
What the hell
happened
happened
to
to
Monday?
Monday?
And then he said, I had some words with the boss. Yeah, the boss probably said, where the hell were you yesterday? Nothing too serious, he said, though. I never saw it. All the times I read it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really got from Joe and Charlie was a little bit of the funny stuff.
Yeah, they make some fun of that.
Any real meat and the potatoes I got from Jim B.
Yeah.
I never heard anybody mention spiritual solutions till I met Jim. Everybody was always like, well, you know, some people make amends.
I used to love to hear his story. It was like going to the friggin' movies. You know, you're always like this on the edge of your seat waiting for what he's going to say next, you know. Talking about the drug dealers and, you know, representing those guys. And the
Oh, yeah.
cartel.
Oh yeah.
Who, Jim B?
Yeah.
He said that he had some horses, some palominos or something, and he had to go down and
I remember that one.
something to do with horses. I forget. He was knew something about horses or something. The drug dealers were racing the horses.
Didn't they try to use him as a witness protection? They tried to get information from him.
They tried to get him to inform on the drug deal
Right,
because he was
exactly.
going down
Trying
there.
to get
you
him
know,
to turn state's evidence.
Going down where? South America?
Colombia or Peru or something, wasn't
It
it?
was Columbia.
Yeah, he was
So, was he
representing
more
some-
than an alcoholic?
No, there was a
He's a
chance to make
lawyer.
some money,
Yeah.
some kind of horse training program, and he knew something about horses or something, and they had.
I videotaped that.
That's what Kevin said was all the hoo-ha, because there was that guy from the Pompano Beach group.
He tried
My problem is Ron. Well, Ron changed. Kevin would say Ron was the one who went online and made a big stink and said that Jim B was not sober because he had relapsed, because he had to go before the judge and say he was drinking or something in order
What's
to
up,
get out of
with,
that.
what's up with that when people have to say, my name and my problem is, you know, like stuff like that? Why do you have to say stuff like that?
I don't know.
But he
Like,
went.
to be
He
different
went
or-
online.
Kevin went into
Yeah,
Kevin went into
trying to-
hours of that
Trying
shit
to
with me.
sound different.
And
That
little
guy
Joe,
from the
he
Pompano
said,
Beach group named Ron.
today the drunk is asleep.
He was the one that
He could be
got Jim
awakened.
kicked out of the Pompano Beach group.
I've been doing that for over 10 years.
That's why Jim
I
stopped
guess
going to the
I-
Pompano Beach group.
Sometimes
Okay,
I gotta walk
yeah,
out
and he
before
was-
He was saying that
Came
he
straight over the bottom
wasn't
line.
sober because online
It's almost
you
like
can
the
read where he
trademark,
Yeah, like you
something
gotta have a
online about you
catchphrase.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, him being in prison.
Where's the humility?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that didn't mean he was drunk.
Well, Jim had to tell the judge that he was drinking in order to get out.
Oh, is that
And
what?
you know what
was?
it is?
He
said it
he
so
didn't have
long,
the,
now he
apparently
can't
he
get
didn't
out
have
and
those
not
years
say it.
because
It's like,
They
yeah.
can't
he
get
had
out.
to tell the
He's
judge.
addicted to
That his
saying-
lawyer came to him and said, "Look, all you got to do is tell the judge you're drinking, and they're going to let you out." And he goes, "I can't do that. I got an AA and all this stuff." They said, "Well, then stay in jail." And so that was his option:
Yeah.
stay in jail as a he wouldn't give up his.
I think I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
And
Yeah,
so
he
that's
was-
why
yeah.
Jim stopped going to the Pompano Beach group.
Well,
No, I
sometimes
just
you
let
have
it
to shake
slide off because I knew it wasn't
The
true.
one I used to wear all the
What's
flashy
his name?
clothes.
Kevin got real into that when it was going down, I
He had
guess.
shaved
And he was
all
getting
the
into
time.
fist fights with that Ron guy.
Oh yeah,
Had a
Frankie.
real bad
no
resentment
kidding. Yeah, whatever
for
happened
getting
to
him
Frank?
kicked out
He
of
used
the
to wear the
Pompano Beach
flashy clothes like orange shorts.
Because
and
the
He's
Ron
still-
Conscious
Is
guy.
he still sober?
It changed.
Huh?
Is that Ron guy still sober?
Yeah, he's changed a lot. Kevin said he's a completely different person now.
Yeah.
Whereas
Now I know who you're talking about. Ron. He's a fat.
yeah, fat guy. My name and my problem is Ron.
Yeah.
He 200 to get my
Yeah, I've seen him since then. I didn't think he was.
That's why Jim left the Pompano Beach group.
That's
He told me that.
Really? Really?
Wow,
You
man,
start- you start
famous
selling
now.
body
He got
parts for
he got
drugs,
to
man. You're fucked up.
the group conscience or whatever. Got to the business meeting and said, "Here's online printout that says he was drinking at this date. He's lying about his sobriety date, and he's doing big book meeting." They said, "Well,
The other guy's a little weird too. The
Well, he just had to get out of prison. So I mean, I wouldn't have done the same thing.
Kevin said he didn't want to create a controversy over there, so he just quit going. That's when they went over to the 101 Club.
Guy was fucking.
Yeah,
They started
Some-
Saturdays.
He's sitting in the chair like this.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
I go, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, I'm glad
Some
you told me that.
steroids, man. They got me all
Oh, really?
anxious. He's ready to kill somebody.
Well, Kevin goes into sometimes he'll talk for a fucking hour.
Maybe I should talk. Maybe I should record him.
Yeah.
Steve was making fun of this guy.
So you can't shut him up. Get him talking. He won't
He
stop.
had these, they were like hot
He
pants
loves to
on.
fucking talk.
I wasn't
But he
gonna
hasn't
say
been
hello.
sober very long.
Kevin, he's been sober for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. I
I
go
see
to
him all the
the jungle every
time.
once.
I move his furniture
John,
about every 3 months.
No.
name.
Oh, okay.
You're close.
Rizzo. Where is it?
Is that it?
Yeah, I went over and gave him a bunch of Jim
place
B
where I
stuff.
live.
He got a computer.
But John's all right. He's
You
a
let it
little
out?
strange too. He's-
Yeah, but he
lives
only
all
had
right
like
with
170 gigs, and it was
Says
half
he
full of
cured
programs and
himself.
shit. So I only gave him like 40 gigs of Jim.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh,
Not a great guy.
well, as long as he's using
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he took the. He was crying when the video
Yeah,
started up.
How's he doing?
Nice.
The video? He saw the
He said,
video.
"Oh my God, there's a
Come on,
video
yeah.
in here," and he started it up. Next
He
thing
had that girl, Kelly.
Yeah.
He was like panicked about this. Well, where do you think she could be? Fucking right now. It's like,
Little skinny one?
like this thing.
Wasn't she stripping at the Porthole pub?
I don't think anybody would pay her to strip. I just don't
I
see
paid her
it.
to put her clothes back on.
Yeah.
Who's in?
Well, she was dating
Kelly,
that guy for a
Wilson,
while, and
Kelly.
Oh,
he
yeah.
sort of disappeared. I think his name was Mike.
Didn't she have like a big scar for a C-section up her belly?
Oh, I don't know.
You know,
She always wore the G-string
Lou
that was in the
Madrid?
glass.
well, here's what he says. That he knew she wanted to be with him first.
I can't imagine
Yeah,
it, man.
and
That's like,
That's Crazy Richie.
no.
Louis Madrid.
She was fucking Richie for a long time. Crazy
Was she?
Richie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. She
Oh,
likes
Crazy
older men.
Richie.
Corvette Richie.
Right, crazy. Richie.
Most people go, I know who you're talking about.
What happened to him?
Crazy Richie.
He's back up in New York. He just texted me New Year's Eve. He said he's sober for the last 6 months.
What do you do?
One night, the guy I was working for took us to a gold, platinum, whatever the place is up there.
Solid gold.
Yeah, we ended up back there, and this bunch of girls dancing, and they all had scars up their bellies. I was like, did you notice every one of these girls has a C-section scar
Yeah.
from her belly button down to her crotch?
The screaming kid at home.
No, I think they go the other way, don't they? Some of them, do they all
They go
go
this way.
Yeah, they go back
Yeah.
left and right. Yeah.
Left to right.
Well, some little girls, they gotta dance to make a living.
They're making a living.
That's what I was thinking. They got to raise the kid or something.
They're all
Tough
hookers,
way.
too. That's one of my accounts. They actually pay me to go in there to watch the strippers and the bartenders. I'm like, I'm trying to watch the bartenders and the girls are coming up to me trying to get
Yeah, the
lap
bartenders are
dances.
usually nicer than the strippers.
Yeah.
Because they're, they don't have to strip it.
You know what I was telling you? Erin from the Blue Martini.
Oh, yeah, Aaron.
I love that girl.
She's in West Palm now.
Yeah, I heard. We went up to
Put
see
on a
her.
lot of weight. Yeah,
Well, we
she's-
seen Dennis Rodman there.
yeah. Boy, he's a trip.
He did this. Hey, Dennis. I said, okay. He said, who's that?